At this time, we're going to call this meeting of the Beaufort County Board of Education to order. I'm having to share. We're having technical difficulties, and but anyway, Mr. Doon's going to let me look on with his iPad. All right, first item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance by Ms. ECP, and then the mission statement by Mr. T.W. Allen.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
I've been here a while.
Beaufort County Schools will provide a quality educational programs and services to ensure student, academic, and vocational success.
Thank you, sir. Next item is public comment, and I believe Lisa said we do not have anybody, so we're going to move right on. We're going to go down to approval of the agenda. Everybody, have we had any changes that we know of to the agenda?
Chairman.
Got a motion? Got a second?
Second.
No discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item is the approval of the minutes. I'll let you have a chance to look those over, and I'll entertain a motion.
I've already read them, so moved.
Second.
Okay. All right. Got a motion and a second. All in favor of this motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Public recognition. This month we're going to ask Mr. Terry Draper to assist Mr. Cole at this time. If you will, come forward and recognize our students of the month.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The character trait that was recognized in our school for the month of October was courage. The nominees at the elementary level were from Bath Elementary, Marcella Gomez; from Chocowinity Middle School, Michael Baldwin; from Chocowinity Primary, Maya Crosby; from Eastern Elementary, Kiesia Long; from John Cotton Taylor, Larry Woolard; and from John Small, Rosie Riffert. And the winner at the elementary level was Maya Crosby, and she will come forward. Maya is a second grader from Chocowinity Primary School. Her parents are Tygus and Larry Crosby, if they will stand. And she was nominated by her teacher, Ms. Shay Carroll, and she was here, she will stand. Right. Ms. Carroll wrote, Maya has shown a great amount of courage in the past few weeks of school. She and her family are new to the area and have moved to Chocowinity from Saudi Arabia. Maya's mother contacted me before school with concerns about Maya being shy and not knowing any of the other students. Those first few days, you could tell, were an adjustment for Maya, but she has shown courage and bravery and has made several friends already. Maya is participating in class, working in groups, and playing with peers on the playground. She is not the same shy girl we experienced those first days of school. She is definitely courageous in my eyes. We say congratulations to Maya.
Here you go. Nice shiny courage badge. If you go around and shake your hands in each of the
Congratulations. You can go right here if you want to. Yeah. Or do you want to go this way?
All right.
Either way she wants to do it.
That's courage.
Yeah, this is her night.
She wants to try one of these seats on for size.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
At the middle school level, the nominees were from Bath Elementary, Zanaya Martin; from Chocowinity Middle, Haley Morales; from P.S. Jones, David Anderson; and from S.W. Snowden, Dina Al Katani. And David could not be here this afternoon, but I'm going to read his as well. David is a sixth grader. His father is Mr. Alvin Anderson, and he was presented by Ms. Dawn Landon, his teacher. And she wrote, by the door of my classroom, there's a poster that reads, "It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are." This quote by E.E. Cummings perfectly describes the transformation that has occurred with sixth grader David Anderson from last year to this year. Last year, David came to P.S. Jones from another school about halfway through the year. He had many difficulties during this transition. The David that has been in my room this year is a different David. This one has truly become who he really is and has had the courage to do what it takes to be successful. He is alert and in attendance every day. He is a leader in his group and separates himself from anyone who may have conflicts with him. He has kept an A average in class and comes in excited to learn every day. I am so excited for the new courageous David that now has a bright future ahead of him. Let's say congratulations to David. At the high school level, the nominees were from Early College High School, Stefan Grice, from Northside High School, Tyshawn Randall, and from Southside High School, Seswan Bell Noporet. And the winner at the high school level was Stefan Grice from the Early College High School. Please come forward. Stand right here. And Stefan is an 11th grader at the Early College High School. His mother is Miss Patricia Grice, and he was presented by Miss Ginger Jefferson, his guidance counselor, his school counselor. And Miss Jefferson wrote, "I would like to nominate Stefan Grice for the character education trait courage. Stefan recently found his mother unconscious and unresponsive. Instead of panicking or shutting down, he calmly called 911. Because of his decisiveness and quick response, he was able to get her help quickly. Throughout this ordeal, he has visited his mother in the hospital in hopes of her making a full recovery. He also keeps up with his schoolwork, for he knows this is what his mother would want him to do." We say congratulations.
That's right. I know your mama's feeling mighty blessed.
We can have everybody come up for a picture. They'll just,
Congratulations to our winners tonight. Now is the perfect time for any of you that have something else you need to do. If you need to be dismissed, you can get up and exit to the right, or your left, really, and my right. But we appreciate you all coming tonight. Thank you, and congratulations again. Still can't get these glasses. Okay. All right, moving on down to item number 5, discussion, no action. I'd like to call on Ms. Renee Boyd. Come forward.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, SAMHSA, has awarded an $8.8 million grant to the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction to support Project Activate, a 5-year program that increases mental health awareness for students, provides trainings for staff in recognizing and accommodating students with mental health needs, continues research into early prevention plans for substance abuse, and more. Beaufort County Schools was one of the 3 pilot sites that was selected for this grant. When you hear $8.8 million, you're thinking, now that's a lot of money, but that's over a 5-year plan. We will be awarded $1.7 million. When I say we, I'm talking about North Carolina, not Beaufort County, to participate in this grant. That grant, the project is designed actually for three things: to increase awareness about mental health in our schools, to train educators and other youth-serving adults to detect and respond to mental health issues, and to connect children, youth, and families who may experience behavioral health issues with appropriate services. Beaufort County was selected because we were kind of voluntold last year to participate in what's called Project NC SHAPE, which is a school that stands for School Health Assessment and Performance Evaluation School System. And we did, the EC division did participate in that SHAPE program. Once we finished the program, we were asked to send data into the state. We heard they were applying for this grant and asked we would be interested in being one of their 3 pilot sites. So we said, of course. Well, North Carolina did get the grant, and we are one of the pilot sites. Some of the data we had to send in was about our LEA size and that kind of stuff. We were selected because, one reason, because we did what we were supposed to do. We did our SHAPE. We sent in our data, plus because of where we're at in the region, being at the east. So we were awarded. Out of the $1.7 million for this federal fiscal year, DPI and DC DHHS gets to keep 40% of it. So the 3 LEAs will share the 60% of that grant. And we don't know exactly when we'll get the money. As soon as DPI decides what they're going to do with their 40%, then we'll get our part. But it will be to increase awareness for mental health, train our educators, and hopefully a lot of community outreach for our students. Some of the things we talked about doing, because we did have to develop a district mental health team. We have not met this school year because we didn't know if we'd get this grant or not. We will be meeting in the next couple of weeks. Was the trauma-sensitive training for their schools and the first aid mental health. That was 2 of the things we felt like was real important. We're looking at some other PD, but there's not really a lot for educators in mental health, so we're hoping some things pop up. But I'm figuring, if my calculations are correct, maybe about $300,000 this year. Not sure when we'll get it. I'm hoping the spring, early spring, and have all our plans ready to implement next school year. Any questions about the grant?
I have a question. It's not really a question, it's more of a request. My request is that we use the bulk of that money for our actual classroom teachers, because I feel like they're the ones in the trenches, and if it goes to a lot of development that's just for the team, then I don't think it's going to reach the people that are really dealing with it every single day. And I hope that that's one of the plans, is that it's going to reach our classroom teachers. I'm not talking about the money, I'm talking about the training.
Right.
That we won't just bring 1 or 2, that we really emphasize this, because we get those calls from teachers more than anything, is their inability to deal with what's going on in their classroom sometimes.
Well, one of the things the district team talked about last year was not just training teachers. We said there was a lot of individuals in the school system that have direct contact with students, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and they need to know the signs of mental health needs just as well as anyone else. So that's part of the grant. When I collaborated with the Department of Public Instruction's EC division with writing this grant, that was one of the things we requested, was lots of PD.
Yes, good.
Lots of PD.
That's just my request. Yeah, that it go all the way down the food chain.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Moving down, discussion action items. Mr. Swenson, come forward.
Yes, sir. I brought with me tonight Mr. Jackson Wilder. I'm here to support him. He's a 9th grade student at my school who is working on his Eagle Scout project, wanting to put a food pantry, an outdoor food pantry at Washington High School. He's got the layouts and the schematics and everything. He's already got the 811 dealt with. And I brought him along because he's more the subject matter expert to discuss any questions than I am. But I'm certainly reviewed it. I'm certainly supportive of it. So, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
So there is already a food pantry at Washington High School. The problem with the current food pantry is it's always in student services, and a lot of the kids who need the food aren't willing to go and ask for it, and it's in a pretty public place. So the idea of this food pantry that we're going to put near the bus stops that have gotten approved by 811 is that the kids can go there and get food discreetly and do it whenever they would like to, not have to work it into their class schedules, but just in and out on the way from school, and just how diverse. I mean, we can use this in multiple ways. Not only food, but maybe we could even expand it to personal hygiene. We're just looking forward to the future. We just need to get everything approved to build it.
And Mr. Hudson, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say Mr. Hudson and the Facilities Department have also met with Mr. Swinson and have no issues with the location plans of any kind.
How big is it going to be?
It's planned to be about 60 inches tall. I have the blueprints right here if you'd like to see them. There's an example of it at First Christian Church in behind
Okay, I've
Rachel
seen that one.
Case.
So similar to that one?
Yes.
And who's going to stock it?
There's already a food pantry at Washington High School that I've worked with that we plan to stock it. And at my fundraising event next Sunday, we're going to have a can drive to get the initial cans.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Sounds better than great.
Yeah. Thank you for that hard
Do you
work.
mind just walk? If they don't want to see it, that's okay. Just walk around here and let me take a quick look at it. I mean, they may. I didn't mean you couldn't show it to them, but
We may need to look at it since we got the booth on.
Yes.
oh, okay. Yeah, I just want to. I mean, I just appreciate this kind of effort, and I just want to see a quick look at it.
You're going to do a lot of the building yourself? Well, you have don't you have other scouts that help?
Yes, ma'am, but I'm actually paying the contractor to do that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Awesome.
you've had to raise the money for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
We do this in threes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Turn around.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking at that.
Okay.
I'm dropping all the stuff off of it.
Nice, pretty.
That's the last.
Have you raised the money yet?
The fundraising event is next Sunday, and y'all are all welcome to come.
That's kind of where I was going.
Yes, sir. Church of Good Shepherd after church.
Oh, okay. I know where that's at.
What are you going to do? Just ask for donations?
A chili fundraiser.
Oh, okay.
There's also a Harvest Festival going on, so.
Oh, great. That looks great. You can show them too. That looks great. Thank you for so much for taking this on.
Lots of good things still going on out there. We just got to hear about them and promote them.
You're not a little bit proud, are you, Mom?
Should be.
You said it was going to be out at the bus stop?
Yes, sir. I've gotten in touch with there's two areas I was considering, one by the gymnasium and one by the bus stop, and both of those areas are put about A1. Yes, sir.
Awesome, very good.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I know exactly what he's doing.
I make a motion that we approve the food pantry under Jackson's.
Second.
Okay. Got a motion second? No further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for all that work.
Thank you, Mr. Swift.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I guess just
Mr. Clark?
How are y'all doing tonight? Thank you for providing me this opportunity to come on behalf of community members, Booster Club members, and others that have come to me since Coach Proctor's passing to request that the waiver be given for the board policy. I'm not sure of the number, but I know there's a board policy that addresses naming facilities and buildings after people, but I'm asking for this waiver on behalf of those people. We sent you pictures. Okay, it's a very rough picture right now. Royal Wood drew it up for us. There are a couple of things we're probably going to change on it. Felt like his signature and then Proctor Court underneath was a little bit redundant, so we're going to take the Proctor part off the bottom, and we're going to put, again, given permission, we're going to put panther paws on each end, and then we're going to actually flip where the names are, because we want the name in front of the home coaching box. So it'll actually slide to the left. The bottom will slide to the left, the top will slide to the right. But So I know there's, again, like I said, there's a board policy, I think, that was put in place maybe 2013 or revised in 2013 that addresses this issue, and just requesting a waiver. Mr. Proctor, Coach Proctor, coached at John A. Wilkinson for 2 years, the last 2 years of John A. Wilkinson's existence. And then from Northside High School, he started coaching in the fall of 1989 until this past spring, 2018. So 29 years at Northside High School, 2 years at John A. Wilkinson, coached basketball the entire time he was at Northside. Just feel like it would be a great honor to be able to recognize him in this way. And any questions? I'll be glad to try to answer any questions.
I think so. A great idea. I mean, it's to honor him in that fashion is great. I think the question is a policy and following that policy. And you know, I know it's cliche, but we've heard it 1,000 times. When you do something for one, we can end up getting a lot of requests like that. So
I understand.
I'm more than for it, but I wouldn't mind tabling it until we discuss maybe a policy change.
Sure.
And that's right where I was too. I think this is great. I actually like the way it looks now, even though they're going to change it. But
that's good.
But instead of opening the door for everybody to come in, I would like to see us revisit the policy, just like Michael said. And I'm not talking about tabling this for 2 or 3 months. I'm talking about we would immediately, maybe the next meeting, if the chairman is okay with that, revisit the policy and make it more agreeable to our schools and a little easier for us. Sure. And then as soon as we revisit that, ask you to come back in with it.
Sure.
That's just my opinion. I'm one person. So.
Okay.
Oh, I'm definitely for it. If
We
you
called
want
and
to
emailed Roy Wood to try to get a closer image of what we actually want it to look like.
Well, that was pretty good.
No, what
Yeah,
you
it does.
said,
It looks
I mean,
nice.
that's fine.
Butch, I wouldn't mind hearing from you.
It's your home area now.
Oh, I mean, Charles and I have already talked about it quite a bit, and I'm all for it. Coach Proctor had a huge impact on students for the last 30 years on that end of the county, and he touched a lot of lives, not just as basketball players, but students in general. And I think this is a great way to recognize him. I understand what y'all are saying about the policy. One question, I know the hope would be to have it ready for this year.
Well, if we are getting our floor redone at Christmas, which I think we are, I was hoping to maybe unveil it after Christmas, because they'll come in over Christmas break.
We'd be more than ready by then.
But if not, then definitely by the summer, because they'll come back in and redo the floor again in the summer.
I would like for
see
us
no
to
reason you
revisit
couldn't
this
do
policy
that.
right away. We recently had another school make a request that we had to turn down because of the policy. So that's why I'm saying I'd like us to revisit it as soon as possible so that we can accommodate, if the vote goes that way, we can accommodate your schedule too.
And the Booster Club wanted me to make sure that there won't be any cost to the Board of Education.
Right.
I think it was either going to be $500 to have it on one side or $1,000 to have it on both sides. I just felt like we felt like it was going to be more symmetrical if it was on both sides of the court, and it's going to be $1,000. So the Booster Club said they'd take care of that. So there won't be any cost to like I said, the Board of Education.
You know, I'm all for it too. Yeah, I'm like Carolyn and Butch and them. We just change the policy and table it for one meeting.
Sure.
Proctor taught me in school, so I know how much he meant to that whole crowd.
And even if we have to, up to the chairman, we can even waive the second reading on policy changes and stuff like that, so we can just zip this right through. We just, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to vote for it. But I want the wording just right, because I know for a fact as soon as we say aye, there's going to be a list, a line at that door. And I just want to make sure it addresses all of them at the same time.
I understand that.
But no.
I don't think you're going to have any trouble finding support.
Yeah, you don't have, you got plenty of support.
For my part, and I'm once again, like Karen says, 1-9, don't go back to Northside thinking, no, this is not going to be a no for me.
No. Not that Mark doesn't have plenty to do, but I'm going to ask him tonight to start looking into other county policies.
Right.
I'm delighted to take that on.
I can tell he's delighted.
Excited about this opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
One more thing.
I'll see you tomorrow morning in your office, Mr. Clark.
We're just trying to help you with this interim.
Yes.
Mike said he wants you to do it tonight.
Mike said he wanted to do it tonight.
I want him to go home and think about it tonight.
We're just trying to give you as much experience as we can in this interim superintendent position.
But thank you for bringing this to us, and like I said, I don't think you're going to have any trouble
It's fine.
finding support. We just want to do it the
And-
right way, so the other schools.
And I don't care if you flip it and put the pause, whatever.
All right.
No problem.
You'll make sure it looks good.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Charles.
We'll just move on with no action.
Right.
That means we'll.
If that, well, whatever you say we got to do, we'll do. Do you want something?
No.
Okay.
But if you would like to have a motion to table it to be brought back at next month's meeting.
I make that motion and that we make sure it's on the agenda for the next meeting.
Second.
All right, then it's official. All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. 6.3, turn to my good friend, Mark Doan, to talk about the hurricane makeup days.
Thank you, sir. Just, I'm sure you've all by now probably seen the news and the Senate Bill 2 that was passed and signed by the governor that allows school systems who were one of the 28 area school systems in the counties that were designated as official disaster zones, that all of the time missed due to Hurricane Florence could be forgiven, not only the time forgiven by the students, but also by the employees. So what we've done is we have not scheduled any changes to the calendar, with your permission, which I'm asking for tonight, that we, in terms of instructional hours, it will be as if we attended on those days. Of course, we had 5 days missed by all schools, then those on the south side, some missed 6, and CPS missed 7 due to the hurricane issue. But it will be as though students all attended and employees all attended. Any employee who used any type of leave would be refunded that leave. Any employee who worked would be given comp time in its place. Individuals who normally don't get paid, especially our child nutrition folks and our bus drivers when we miss school, will be paid as though they ran their routes or served lunches those days. And honestly, the way this bill was written, if we were to schedule makeup days, then the Board of Education will be on the hook to find the funds to pay everyone to attend. So I'm not saying the state's twisting our arm, but I know that we don't have extra funds to pay for 5 extra days of work additional to our calendar. It's an easy recommendation to make that we simply follow the Senate Bill 2 and forgive those days for both students and employees. That's what I would like to ask your permission to do.
Move approval.
Second.
Yes, ma'am.
How about smoking for last Friday?
So far, Hurricane Matthew, there's been no discussion of any legislation for it. So
You mean Michael?
I'm sorry, that's right. I said Matthew. My bad. Matthew was the previous.
Give the man
Give credit where credit's due.
give his credit.
Another guy, another.
That's right.
Michael's hurt.
So what we'll have to do for the student folks, we'll have to look at instructional time for the students. Based on the number of hours that they normally attend, I don't think it'll be an issue, and we'll probably just wind up working with our employees. Now, there will probably be some folks, child nutrition, bus driver, there's not really a way to make that happen, but for the rest of our employees there, we can either use leave or make up the time. Yes, ma'am.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any more discussion or questions? Seeing none?
I don't have a question about the days, Mac. I have a question about, have we discussed submitting, after we approved paying the people that work the shelters, are we going to submit that to the county commissioner?
Oh, we have. We're in the
did
process.
submit
Yeah, I mean, there's three sets of individuals we're working with. We're working with the county commissioners for shelter and anything related to shelter.
Right.
Of course, we're working with FEMA for any damages, anything related, and then work with our own insurance companies as well for any damages related. So.
Okay. Have those employees already been?
Oh, we paid them.
Okay,
Yes, we're
I didn't want
submitting
them
for
waiting.
reimbursement.
That's
No,
what,
yeah.
and I forgot to ask that. Were
No,
they going to
we-
have to wait for those agreements to go through?
We paid them. We're waiting for our reimbursement.
Okay, good.
Right. Yeah.
Well, not good, but I didn't want them.
No, we're not making them wait. Till
Good.
We may wait a while.
Right,
It may take a while for our reimbursement.
Right. That was my only question.
That is correct.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of this motion?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. 6.4, North Carolina School Board Association Director Appointment. Mr. Dunn.
It has come to my attention that the North Carolina School Board Association is looking for one of our individuals to be added to the board of directors, and I would ask that if any of you would like to nominate anyone, we could do so and possibly approve that person tonight.
I got one for you. I'd like to nominate our chairman, Mr. Mac Hodges.
And I
He's
second that.
got 30-plus years. If there's anybody deserves it, he's the guy.
You need more meetings in Raleigh.
That's right. I didn't say that. He already has enough meetings. Can you work it in?
I can double dip on it.
Absolutely.
I doubt my calendar will work out that way. But
Any other nominations? No.
I would like you to handle this vote.
All right.
Since it's pertaining to.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, sir. I believe you've been appointed.
It may be condolences.
That's right.
But it is.
We're going to need you to start your work tonight on it.
What is
Start to work. I'll start with Mark.
We need a revision to policy 9300 in school board association. If we can get that done.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, I think. Moving down, 6.5, field trips. Mr. Dunn.
Yes, sir. We have P.S. Jones Middle School, the FBLA conference in March. They have the appropriate number of chaperones to go along with students, and just asking for approval.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, moving down to section 7. I need a motion for us to go into closed session.
Sure. I move that we go into closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A1 to prevent disclosure of confidential personnel files under General Statute 115C-321 and General Statute 143-318.11A1 to prevent disclosure of student records under General Statute a lot of statutes. General Statute 115C-402 and 20 U.S. Code 1232G.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor of this motion, say aye. Aye. All opposed? We are back in open session, and at this time, I'd like to have a motion to accept the personnel agenda that was presented. All right, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, going down to item 9, updates, calendar for November. Mr. Dunn.
Just correct me if I'm wrong, sir, I don't believe we have set the official date for the November meeting. I think we were up in the air based on probably 2 hurricanes and various other sundry issues. I think we were looking at the 27th.
The 27th. We're looking at maybe having just one meeting.
Okay. I won't be here, but that's fine if you have it.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to, that'll be the week that I'll be traveling with a school to Florida.
Oh, so you'll be gone that whole week?
I leave on Monday, and I leave on Monday and get back on Friday.
So you're good to go.
Maybe? Can we maybe meet before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we leave on the 26th and get back on the 30th.
What about Monday the 19th?
I mean, I'm fine with any other than that week I'll be going to school.
That would work.
That's the week of Thanksgiving?
Yes. Monday.
Yeah. Would that work, Monday?
That's fine with me.
So we're swapping the 27th for the 19th?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Okay.
5:30?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. We good?
I could
All
tell
right.
school wouldn't go, but that
And
would
we,
be nice.
and just as a reminder, we have on October 30th, we have a meeting.
So what now?
On October 30th, we have a meeting for the 3 school improvement plan discussion.
So I need to change from interviews to something else.
We don't have an interview that night since we...
29th we do, right, Matt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're still good 29th. But since that one gentleman withdrew...
So we'll only have one that night, but 2 on the 25th, right?
2 on 25th, 2 on 29th. We're down to 4.
All right.
Right.
Goodness for that.
Okay. All right. Anything else for calendar right now?
Just the next meeting. I always go from one meeting to the next. When do we meet again?
On October 30th, other than our interviews.
No, we meet the 25th.
Those are interviews.
But we meet the 25th
25th,
next.
Yeah, right.
That's all I need
25th,
to know.
29th, 30th.
Right.
At the same place.
Need to know one meeting at a time.
Yeah. And I'll have you some dates that night for possibility when we get to the point of second interview. Okay. We got to work on that. Okay. All right. 9.2 board member updates. Anybody got anything they want to bring?
One quick thing, just for the public and board members, Northside originally had what they were calling an old timers basketball game scheduled for, it was when Florence come through, and in September, and they had to reschedule that. They have rescheduled it for November the 10th. And it's basically going to be having teams from years gone by to come back and play basketball as a fundraiser for Coach Proctor's family. Like to encourage everybody to attend that, but it'll be November 10th at the gym at the high school. And one other thing, and I was supposed to do this at our last public meeting, and I forgot it, but I would like to commend Mr. Doan for the efforts that of him and everybody else in the school system with the hurricane. I was in a lot of the emergency management meetings, and our emergency management department spoke very highly of his cooperation with the shelters and everything else. And they said they were throwing stuff at him left and right, and he was hitting it out of the park. So thanks, Mr. Doan, for what you did during that time.
That's good.
You keep saying stuff like that public, and somebody's going to come try to steal him from us.
I just want to remind everybody, I know November 7th, we are having our Ag Expo over in Martin County again this year, and all the board members are invited. And I want to publicly thank Lisa. I've aggravated her enough, I know. Mark, I've had to have meetings with Mark and Lisa and Wendy Pettaway. Wendy's been a big help as well. But we've been working on this thing, so we hope to have a good event again. We're going to have 12 counties there, roughly about 1,100 students coming in that morning over there. So anyway, I want to publicly thank them, and invite you guys if y'all can come that day.
What day Wednesday, isn't it?
November 7th.
So it's got to be in Newbern that day.
The day after the election.
What time does it start, Mac?
It starts at 9:30.
I might miss it. I love being there, but I got to be in Newbern that day.
Okay. So 9:30 to 1:30, something like that. Anything else? Board member updates?
Also, I think October 23rd is the Trivia Bee at the Civic Center, where our schools will have teams there, and so they're asking for sponsors. You sponsor a question and that sort of thing. So if they miss it, your sponsorships allows them to stay in one more time. But I think the prize is like $1,000 or something.
Wow, nothing for school.
Yeah, for that school.
Well, good. Mr. Dunn, superintendent update?
A couple things. First and foremost, we did make it to the second round of the Golden Leaf Grant for the Sea Academy. So we are now finalizing all of the information. Hopefully we'll know something very soon. I know that Lisa has sent out an invitation if any of you would like to attend visit to Iredell Statesville schools to something that we may pattern some of what we're doing after. So we are on the second round. That's good news as opposed to being outright denied. So hopefully that will continue. We have not, I just want to be clear that we have not made any changes to the school calendar for the traditional schools or for the early college. October 30th is an early release day for professional development. That is still continuing. November 12th is Veterans Day holiday. November 21st is an optional teacher work day before the Thanksgiving holidays on the 22nd and 23rd. No changes have been made to the calendar. I know anytime we miss school, there's always some, usually we take those work days and sometimes take some of the holidays and move them around, rearrange things, but at this point, no changes whatsoever to the calendar, just so families know that. So,
stay in the course.
We are. It does feel like we started two different school systems after the hurricane. We started one year and then we started again. So, but I think we're finally on track and get some consistency. So it's nice for a change.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. Anybody else? Ms. P?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All right. Got a motion? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion adjourned.